You seem like lesser than the last time I came. Huh? Oh, this is IBK and IBD, investment banking division. Oh, right. So the other class was everybody. I see. I see. But I think I'm seeing faces that I didn't know before. Like I didn't think I've seen you before. Are you just joining? Yeah. You didn't come for the last class. You're Chine. That sat at the back. Why do you look different? Interesting. Okay. So good morning again. So I'm kind of. Okay. This way. Right. So apologies, I came late. I had to come from work, and I'm out to go back as well. So how's your week been? Huh? Star players. You're just starting your week. No, I was not asking about your weekend. I was asking about your week. I mean, you guys are investment bankers, so I mean, anything exciting this week? What happened this week? Huh? Goldman Sachs. What happened to Goldman Sachs? They're changing their CEO. Right. So who is the topmost candidate for the? Huh? Oh, they already declared the next CEO. So who is the person? David Solomon. Right. Interesting. I didn't know that. I knew they were hunting. Oh, interesting. Okay, guys. So today's class is about financial modeling. All right, and it is not going to be a very in-depth class in the sense that I mean, you guys don't need it. You just need to know about it, such that when you appear in interviews, you won't look lost, right? So before, it used to be more intense than this. I mean, it used to be like six classes of financial modeling, like 8 a.m. till like 8 p.m. in the night and stuff like that. But over time, it became obvious that it wasn't necessary to be that intense. And this is why. It's not like maybe Talentmine doesn't want you guys to know about financial modeling. Is that in reality, your hands-on experience with financial modeling will not start until if you are a very, very, very good person, maybe after your first year as an analyst. And whatever company employed you would still train you, right? Although there are some general, let me say, standards to financial modeling, but different companies have different methods that they use to deliver it. So what we'll be teaching will be most likely the general standards on financial modeling, such that when you find yourself in an interview, or even if you came about a model, you should be able to figure it out. Does that make sense? You guys look disappointed. Who is disappointed? Oh, I want to know the disappointed guys. We'll take you separately. If you are disappointed, no, I'm serious. We'll just special classes, 8 o'clock. You're not leaving till, and you're coming again tomorrow. Does that make sense? Is anybody disappointed now? Who is still disappointed? I'm hearing yes. Somebody's saying yes underneath. If I hear yes from your angle, all of you are coming tomorrow. All right. So, does anybody know what models are? And by models, I don't mean, the ones that run on the walkway. I mean, in the context of this class, what are models? Is there anybody in economics here? Or anybody that studied economics? Where are the economists? The economists. Chine, you're one of them. You're one of the economists. Okay, everybody here is interesting. Okay, so economists should be able to answer what a model is, right? So I want an economist to just tell us. I mean, these are basic economics, ECN 101 or something like that. Who wants to go? Everyone can say. simplified presentation of complex situations. Fantastic. I like that. I've not heard that before, honestly. And I'm serious. I've not heard that before. You want to say? Are you an OU boy? Huh? You mean like, is it the same lecturer that is teaching us? Where do you economics here? Have you heard that before? As in word for word. Are you kidding? Who is teaching you? Because I was in economics, right? I think that's ECN 201 or something like that, when they teach you modeling. And that was exactly word for word. I can remember right now as you are saying it, like that handout, because I was in class. I read the handout. It was written there. Oh yeah, say it again. Abstractions of reality, exactly. Yeah, I mean, is anybody, are they recording this class? Because somebody said his lecturers are copying textbooks on the internet. I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, does anybody want to add to that? Does anybody want to add to the two things that have been said? Anybody? So I like the two definitions. She said they are representations of complex situations, right? Models are representations of simplified representation of complex situations. I mean, that nailed it, honestly. I mean, he nailed it and into death. I'm telling you. I'm serious. Simplified representation of complex reality, right? Or situations, right? Then abstraction from reality. All right. So you guys know what abstraction is, right? Don't think about it in the art field. You know, when I say something is abstract, you guys start thinking it's complex and stuff. And abstraction is just really a simplification, like something out of something, like a subset of something really big. Does that make sense? So what are models? Models are simply what they've said it is. They are abstractions of reality. They are simplified representation of complex reality or complex situations. Now, in reality, the business environment is actually extremely complex. In reality, the business environment is what? Extremely complex. Now, what financial models tend to achieve is to, first of all, simplify the models. Because, for example, the guys that study economics, they will tell you something, ceteris paribus principle. What does that mean? All things being equal. So what that means is that for the non-economics guys, who are the non-economics guys? We that are non-economics, yeah, let's raise up our hand now. Yeah, I studied engineering. Forget that I'm fancying with these people. All right. Yeah, I studied engineering, then I crossed to economics. But yeah, so when you want to create a model, according to economics, they say something like you look at the whole picture, you can identify 20,000 variables or 1 million variables, right? But you pick the most important ones. Then you now say ceteris paribus, meaning all of that things being equal. That is, this class, for example, let's say what are the drivers for this class? What makes people attend this class? So you can say things like, the effectiveness of delivery of lectures, for example. So if the lectures are delivered effectively, right, word of mouth will go round. Does that make sense? You're like, I like that class. I mean, the lecturer always delivers, like, I like the way, it teaches. So more people want to come, right? Things like maybe performance at tests and exams, they also drive, attendance to classes. I'm sure you guys are actually OE people, they know this. When immediately you are moving to maybe from 200 levels to 300 level, the first thing you do is you ask the people that are now in 400 level that, please, what are the classes that you guys passed well? Let's call it this way. We didn't do these things to go and learn them. We did these things to get a certificate. I'm telling you. Let's call it this way. So the first thing you do is, guys, they say, this lecturer is wicked though. This one is wicked. You can't pass. Look, all of us, we got C, okay. But this one, it will not stress you. In fact, you will not come to class. You just say you're going to read a textbook and come for test. And you are most likely going to get an A. You get? So we make those kind of inquiries. Then you notice that the lecturers that people seem to get A's, they have more students. Does that make sense? In fact, there is this guy, I think still in Ife, Adedoku, inexperienced. No, inexperienced. There are two Adedokuns. There is the experienced Adedoku. Then there's the inexperienced Adedoku. The other one. No, he's in economics. Yeah, that very one. Yeah. So now that guy, I think he taught a course one time, and they gave me a course one time, and a lot of people passed. So the following year, people came. So what the guy did was I failed everybody again. So people ran away the third year. Then he passed all of them. Then people came. That guy is an idiot. I mean, are they recording this class? Oh, sorry, apologies. Scratch that. Please censor these things. I mean, that guy was just gaming students. So everybody knows. So if you are taking this course and you are 2 years down, just know that okay, it's possible that you pass because God knows. I mean, delivery. We've identified delivery as a factor to drive lectures or attendance, student attendance. We identify performance of students at exams and stuff like that. Then we could say something like maybe the conduciveness of the lecture rooms, right? If, for example, this lecture room is one that is leaking and stuff like that, people will be like, I don't want to come to that class, right? So let's say conduciveness of environment. What else? What else can you say? Throw things at me. I mean, you should not be only me figuring this out. Time, it could be, timing is also very important. For example, I remember my 100 level days, chemistry 101, because I used to be in engineering. Chemistry 101 was 7 a.m. Yeah, I didn't attend anyone. Yeah, wow, 7 a.m. Are you kidding? What are we doing? Are we using it to count money now? That's what's that thing that they are teaching us that time? Organic chemistry. Are you using it to count money now? Are there any engineers in the house? Engineers. You're an engineer. What are you studying? Civil. So you did chemistry 101. So what are you using it for now? And God knows you will not use it for anything. I mean, because you are becoming an investment banker. You even make more money than that does not mean that chemistry 101 is not. Let me be serious. Please be editing this class real time, please. It's very important. All right, but as I was saying, the timing is a critical factor as well because a lot of us didn't attend. So there were 2 chemistry 101 classes. I don't know if they still do that because it's a very large class. Everybody in faculty of science and faculty of engineering were taking, and even some people from education were taking chemistry 101. So there was a 7 a.m. class, then there was an 8 a.m. class. So I can't attend the 7. I can't make the 7 a.m. class. So I usually go for the 8 a.m. class when I can attend. So the timing of the class might be a factor. Does that make sense? Then sometimes maybe the importance of the course, courses that are mandatory, right? Say what do they call them? Not core courses. Those guys that you can't pass if you don't take them. You don't pass. Prerequisite courses. So prerequisite courses are going to command more attendance than non-prerequisite courses, right? So we've identified maybe 4 or 5, things now. But there are also some subtle stuff that may not sound very important. Maybe say, maybe the lecturer farts in class or something. Let me just have an example. And you guys just like, why is that guy always farting? Why is that guy always farting? And you guys, she's always calling me, I'm not farting now, why are you calling your nose? She's always calling your nose. Right. So, maybe lecturer always farts. So nobody wants to sit in front anymore. But because you can't avoid sitting in front, you just don't come for the class. Because if, for example, the class started from there, lecturer can say, everybody move forward. Then you now start, okay, please let us stay here. No, I say move forward. So before you know what's happening, people stop attending classes or something. But don't. Yeah, so in reality, the business environment is very complex. Has anybody here done Forex before, traded in Forex before? Forex, you've traded Forex before, fantastic. So you can tell that sometimes a simple news outbreak can change the entire market. And super unrelated, super unrelated. For example, the United States declares war on North Korea. What does that mean as an investment banker? What do you think? Does someone want to give it a try? No. If you want to try, just raise up your hand. We'll try together. Oh yeah, now. Yeah. Everybody must hear you. Yeah, you're not talking to me.
Okay.
What's your name? What's your name? Matthew. Can you hear him? Matthew can hear you. Matthew, you can hear me that? Oh yeah.
Like maybe trade relations that affect the America and probably North Korea stocks will go up, go down.
Nah, that's too generic, please. Speak like an investment banker. Don't be giving me stocks to go up, stocks to come down. Who wants to try? You want to try? Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy is very was between US and Russia. The stock that would be, military equipment is trying to because of the demand for the defense operation. And also, the import from China will actually cost more because China is more like North Korea being protected, and they want to be carrying of that with China. This is China carrying the import from the US as well.
I like that. Who else want to say something? Everybody should say something. I mean, that's not all that's going to happen. A lot are going to happen. You've been trading forex before. What could happen?
That will happen. It usually happens in the currency case. US dollar is usually depreciate. The Japanese yen because
US dollar will be on 50 shades.
it will depreciate.
Oh, depreciate, okay.
Yeah, Japanese yen is for example because like it's caught in between US and
North Korea.
North Korea. Chinese francs will affect it because that's not affected by this in what in that Asian has it. So if it go going up, but many people take the money out of the stock market and the currency market to invest in those
Commodities.
Yeah.
North Korea does not have a stock exchange.
Okay.
South Korea that better North Korea. This is also a huge risk. So when we see a very strong I will see also slow down with that production that overall employees
Yeah. Well, we can't say North Korea is poor because nobody knows. That's the point. I mean, everything is about Western media, so nobody really knows how poor they are. But I mean, recently they've been taking more pictures of North Korea, and they don't really look poor. But although I mean, there's the school of thought that believes that they are not the rural areas, and that maybe a lot of people are poor in the rural areas. But yeah, but so far, who else want to say something? Guys, give a shot now. I mean, this is a class. This is not interview. You can't fail. There's nothing you say that is not relevant. Have you guys noticed that? That in investment banking, that nothing is irrelevant. Of course, some things are stupid, but nothing is irrelevant, really.
So if there happens to be a war between US and North Korea, I feel it will also have an impact on emerging markets like Nigeria. In terms of so many people will withdraw their money from the stock market in the US and like to put their money in countries that will not be affected by such wars. So it will majorly have a very good effect on our, like in Nigeria now, it will have a very good effect on our stock market and our crypto system.
Let's say something. Huh? He said what you wanted to say. Emerging markets. Right. Okay, so I mean, everything you guys have said are super wonderful. And honestly, you are all right. As a matter of fact. Of course, there's no way you can quantify the effects of what's going to happen right now. But trust me, there are some investment banks that are currently there's something they call exposure analysis. All right, they are currently carrying that out to see, okay, what if this happens? How exposed are we, and what are the mitigating factors? All right, and the tool to carry that out is modeling. Does that make sense? Because you have to reduce reality to numbers, and that's exactly what modeling is about. You literally have to reduce reality to numbers. I'm sure you guys have heard about, okay, when for the economics, they've had tons of models. I mean, they'll just show you one model is sigma, alpha, pi raised to power 2 equals 0. Anytime you have alpha, sigma, pi, it must always equal to 0. Once you can figure it out, you get your answer or something like that. I mean, you guys have those models, right? I mean, but the truth is, what they are trying to do is they are trying to reduce reality to numbers. Does that make sense? And that's why she said it's a simplified representation. And there's nothing simpler than numbers. There's nothing. So if you are the type of guy that always, or lady, that always said, I don't like mathematics, you are wrong, go. You have to like maths. Of course, your knowledge of mathematics is not supposed to be quadratic equation level or even simultaneous equation level mathematics. Simple arithmetic, board maths and stuff, plus or minus, divisions and stuff like that, you should be very comfortable with it. Because that is exactly how, that's the analysis part of, modeling. Does that make sense? You guys are looking at me funny. Are you following? Okay. So, now, there are different types of models. Okay, I kind of did a, have you guys been taught the financial statements? You guys have been taught how they relate to each other? Okay. So, there are different types of financial models. And these different types are dependent on what you intend to achieve. The most basic financial model you find is what is called the 3-statement model. They are very basic. In fact, as an accountant, you should have tried it before. Is there anybody in 400 level accounting here? 400 level accounting? 400 level accounting? Nobody? Okay, anybody in accounting? There are no accountants here. You're an accountant? 400 level? 100? Graduate? Fantastic. 400 level? 400 level. So you guys have done financial statement before, right? You've modeled financial statement before. Balance sheet, or what do you guys call it? A statement of financial position, right? P&L, profit and loss, and statement of cash flow. And then sometimes you guys put the retained earnings statement, probably under P&L. Am I right? So that's the basic financial model you find anywhere. Okay, and what you have on this screen, sadly I can't share this with you because this is actual model for a company, a live company in Nigeria today. Although this happened in 2015, so it's a bit stale. But then it won't make sense if I share their figures with you, But as you can see, you can see, right? Sorry. But what you have here is a 3-month analysis of a company in Nigeria. And on the leftmost part, you have their P&L sheet. Are you guys following? You have their P&L. In the middle, you have your balance sheet, right? And on the far right, you have the statement of cash flow. So that's the basic, the most basic model you find. The 3-statement model. Are you guys familiar with financial statement? Because the way you guys are looking at me, you look at this is gimmick or some sort. Does it look too abstract? You can say it's abstract. I'm going to break it down. Does it look too abstract? Huh? Are you sure? Okay, so what's the impact of, let's take an airline business. Nigeria Air. Who said that? I love it. Nigeria Air. So, Nigeria Air is supposed to take its maiden flight sometime on, let's say, 1st of January 2019. And people, generally speaking, because of their love for the country, they try to purchase the ticket ahead of time, right? What's the impact of that on their P&L? Who wants to go? Non-accounting student now. Who wants to go? Huh? Yeah, the flight is not going to take off until 1st of January. That's going to be our first flight. Lagos to Abuja. First flight of Nigeria Air, right? So people are purchasing tickets before the time, right? I mean, you're not going to purchase tickets on the very day you're flying now. Does that make sense? So people are purchasing tickets, right? So what's the impact of that on the P&L of Nigerian Air. You said? It will improve revenue. Fantastic. What else? I'm going to you. You'll be answering since. You'll be answering since. Somebody else should talk. Who wants to go? You said? Their tax. What will happen to their tax? Their tax will increase. Okay. You still want to talk? Oh, yeah, talk. Oh, yeah, say something. Huh? It won't affect their P&L. It won't affect their P&L. Okay. Who else wants to try? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? No, we're talking about P&L. Just profit and loss. Guys, do you want to change the answer? We are talking about profit and loss. Income statement, yes. It won't affect it. Okay. What kind of expense is that? Is it operating? Is it SG&A? SG&A. So SG&A will go up. Fantastic. What else? Guys, what else? P&L. Should I start choosing people by myself? It will affect their P&L. For real? Oh yeah, guys, who are the guys that are saying that it won't affect their P&L? Stand up. They are going to teach us how they are. Oh yeah, they are the ones that say it won't affect. So what will happen? Somebody came, he brought money, you collected money, you gave the person tickets. What will happen? He said it won't affect their P&L. Yeah, the flight is not taking off on 2019. January to December. It won't affect what? No, I've not asked if it's going to affect their P&L on the 1st of January. I said the flight will not take off. The flight is still in future. Today, we are talking about their P&L today. What's the impact of their P&L? It will affect their P&L until 1st of January. Accounting students, can you solve this question for us? You are the graduates. What's going to happen? Hey, guys, listen to the expert. Listen to the expert. 1st of January 2019 until so hello, this is aside again. Oh yeah, accountants, come and explain to us why you not affect the principle of accrual accounting. Oh yeah, principle of accrual accounting. Who are teachers? Yeah, guys, listen. The accountants are speaking. Expenses, not income. Guys, listen to this. Immediately. So what's the impact on their P&L?
When in the example you gave back, the collecting the money back,
what's going to affect P&L? So how would they recognize revenue? You're going to be in front of what? Liability. But that liability has to be reflected somewhere. Liability is on the balance sheet. So what's the corresponding reflection of that liability? Where? It's going to be netted out as cash. Prepaid income. Yeah, that's current liability. So when is it going to become revenue?
It's going to be recognized as revenue when the flights actually come.
So you are saying that by January, that is when the airline will now go and put it on their revenue, on their P&L. No, that's wrong. You're going to record the revenue immediately, but the COGS is what will not be affected. The revenue has to flow back into the to the balance sheet. So guys, listen to this. Immediately, and at the time they are collecting the money, it's going to be revenue. It's going to be recognized as revenue. Or do you have a different opinion?
My answer was based on like next day.
As of today, when they collect the revenue, guys, they taught you this class, that's why I'm laughing right now, because they taught you guys this thing I'm just explaining. As of today, everybody paid today. The flight is not taking off until 1st of January next year, but today it was when people paid, right? You're going to collect that money. No business in the world rejects money, so they're going to recognize that money today. It's revenue, right? However, that revenue is going to flow into their cash and cash equivalents because they collected the money on their balance sheet, all right, and going to be netted out as a, what do you call it that time? Payable. What do you call it? Prepayment? Prepaid income. Okay. Or accounts payable. Accounts payable. I think that's the word you guys use. Yeah. So what do you want to say?
Then the cash is not actually it should be recognized because that's where we show the cash.
Can you impute indirectly into the P&L without a corresponding input from the sorry, can you put that into the balance sheet without a corresponding input from the P&L? Who said yes? Somebody said yes. Okay.
When you recognize you receive cash, that means you are debiting cash that you receive, and then you are crediting your pay. That means
exactly. So your cash will increase and your payable too will increase, which will net each other off, because your cash is on the asset side and your payable is on what? Liability side. So you guys know the formula ALE, right? What is ALE? Exactly. So asset is here. There's a liability. There's a corresponding liability that nets out that asset. So your equity remains the same. Does that make sense? So your balance sheet is balanced. Guys, are you listening to me? So your income goes up, your SG&A goes up, which you mentioned. Your SG&A will go up because you are going to be incurring some fixed costs, salaries of your employees, the things that you printing materials for the ticketing and all of that. Your SG&A will go up. Your COGS will be unaffected. So that's the part that I was expecting you guys to say, that COGS will not be affected yet. Does that make sense? Sorry. Yeah. They're not flying. Yes. One second. Sorry, let everybody hear you. Let everybody hear you. Can you hear what he said? Yeah.
So what's the essence of different trade payables?
A trade payable control account. What does that mean? Are you an accounting student? Are you an accounting student? Are you an accounting student? You were. So what's a trade payable account?
It's just used as a control account. Basically, kind of figure out the things for the year. So the sales for like there is space for previous year will be there. So like a whole lot of people that are going to be ordered, they are going to let us every that both the accrued sales that you are receiving for that in that period, the ones like for next year that you need in this period, everything is going to be netted out to bring out the one that will be relevant to the particular
The period. Okay. I don't know about that statement or this book. I'm guessing it's an accounting tool. So this is not necessarily an accounting class, and that's why all the things about your ledgers, balance, your double balance, and all of that, and this that you are talking about is not treated. But with respect to financial statements, it's very key that everybody understands that. All right. As an investment banker, you need to understand the two financial statements. Now, the other things that you guys prepare before you get to this point might be very relevant to this class. You get what I mean? So I can't tell why it is important to prepare that or not. Do you get me? But what is important is that if I collect money today, and that's why I intentionally use the airline business, because a lot of us are very used to the direct trade situation where you drop money and then the goods is exchanged or the service is exchanged immediately. So if I say something like, okay, if you enter ShopRite today, right, and you pay for Bonvita, what will happen to their P&L? I'm sure everybody will get it right. That revenue goes up, cost goes up, SG&A, then their net income goes up. Does that make sense? Then it flows into their balance sheet, right? So what happens on the balance sheet? Cash goes up. Cash goes up. So what net is that on the liability side? Retained earnings. What happens to retained earnings? Net income flows into retained earnings. Yeah, on the equity side, which balances out the asset side. Then what happens to the statement of cash flow? Cash flow from operations goes up, right? Nothing really happens to investment and financing, right? So we are good. That's like standard. Everybody understood that. The whole class is agreeing. Does that make sense? Now, there are some businesses that require to receive money before service is rendered or goods are exchanged. For example, logistics business that do delivery. Sure, you get, like you're on Jumia or something like that, then you pay for something, then they have to deliver to you until you receive that service, until that delivery is done. Do you get? They've not really serviced you, but you've paid ahead for delivery. Does that make sense? So now for the goods, you know that most of these e-commerce sites you see, they're not the ones that do the delivery. You know that, right? You just see that it's branded Jumia and all of that, but there's a B2B angle to it. You find companies like Max.ng, Ace.ng and co. They're the ones that actually service their delivery or their logistics business. Does that make sense? So they're the ones that you actually indirectly pay to, but it's a business strategy. It is called bundling, where complementary businesses come together. All right, then they give you just one price because it pays you more to deal with one person than to be going up and down. Does that make sense? Because imagine you buy something on Jumia, then you now have to go and log in on Ace.ng and say delivery so on Jumia, pick it up and bring it. Do you get? For you that's the gloss of headache. But just talk to Jumia and the other piece is arranged. Does that make sense? For who knows Owambe? What Owambe means? The parties, right? So now if you've noticed, you find photographers, event planners, makeup artists, gele people, and co, and even the caterers. They come together and they form this kind of alliance of some sort, such that once you meet most of the time, the event planner is the focal point. Once you meet an event planner, just tells you that, oh, I'm an event planner for Bella Ninja. Then I have my own makeup artist. So by the time you pay 1 million naira to the event, I'm assuming, right, to the event planner, you've actually covered photography, you've covered food, you've covered, do you understand what I'm saying? So it is a business strategy because it pays you more to do that than to go and be meeting them one by one. Does that make sense? But it doesn't mean that they've actually rendered that service to you. But once they get the revenue, once they get the money from you, it is recognized as revenue. It's accrual accounting principle. The money is recognized immediately as revenue. What now happens is your COGS, because naturally, in a direct trade situation, your COGS, which is cost of goods sold, your cost of goods sold is your core operational cost. The cost that you incur by providing your core services. Does that make sense? So, for example, COGS for an airline is going to be the cost of fuel, all right, the cost of fueling the jet, or the plane, For example, the maintenance cost of the plane and all of that is going to flow into that. In fact, there are some industries where the depreciation cost is also built into their costs because the machines that they use, all right, are directly, are directly used during operations. Does that make sense? So that's what will form their costs. But the truth is that they've not flown yet. Who was asking me that question? Was you now? They've not flown yet. They've started operations, but they've not started giving public. Does that make sense? So, and I don't know if any of you have started a business before. I mean, you start a business internally, you go and get your approvals, you go and do all of that, you register with CAC and all of that, but doesn't mean that you are open to the public yet. Does that make sense? But you're already existing. Does that make sense, guys? So you need to break it down to like the most simplest, concept of what it is, right? So once somebody pays for a ticket now today, and for all of you guys that fly, I fly a lot because I just yesterday. Your tickets are always booked in advance, right? The airline will recognize it as revenue, but COGS, nothing, nada, nothing will happen to COGS. But SG&A will be there because they've incurred a cost, right? Somebody must have serviced you. Do you get? Like there must have been somebody's salary must have been being paid for providing that service. They must have printed tickets. But maybe they have a reservation system, a technology reservation system where they pay subscription and all of that, so that is what allows you to book the flight online and stuff like that. Now, what's the impact of that on their taxes? Somebody said their tax will go up. Who said that? You said it. Yeah. So on their taxes, for example, there are two different kinds of taxes. There's the consumption tax or VAT, there's the corporate taxes. Their corporate tax will go up as well, but VAT, which is their consumption tax, will not be affected because the service has not been rendered yet. Does that make sense? So, and your VAT is actually a portion of your COGS anyways. Does that make sense? Because you incur VAT from operations. You guys are looking lost. Do you know what VAT is? Value-added tax. Do you know why it is called value-added tax? Yeah. The tax is paid. So the tax, the VAT is a consumption type of tax. Economists, can you help me out? What is VAT? VAT is everywhere in the world now. Yes, it's an indirect tax. Yes, it's an indirect tax. So some people call it consumption tax, sales tax, VAT. There are numerous names for it, right? But it's an indirect tax. It means that the business is not the one paying it. It is you, the consumer, that is paying VAT. You know that, right? When you see VAT, it is you that you are enjoying that service. You are the one paying VAT for that service. It is not the business. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Exactly. So if for any reason I decide to go into ShopRite and I bought Bonvita, ShopRite says my Bonvita is 100 naira. However, government said I must collect tax from you on their behalf of 5% on anything you buy. 5% of 100 naira is what? 5 naira. So they now tell you 100 naira, then I put VAT 5 naira, then total 105, right? That 5 naira came out from your pocket, my pocket. Do you get? The business is already fine. They already know that their profit margin is already secure on the 100 naira that they charge. Does that make sense, guys? Right. So, but because they've not rendered the service to you yet, right? In the case of the airline, in the case of ShopRite, they have to pay that 5 naira immediately to government. It's going to be part of their COGS because it's cost of operations to them. Does that make sense? But in the case of the airline, they've not rendered the service yet, right? So it won't affect that portion, and that's why it still doesn't affect their COGS. But for their corporate taxes, which is 30% in Nigeria, I think, accountants, right? It's 30% in Nigeria. It's going to affect it because they've already collected revenue. Now that flows into retained earnings, which flows back into equity section of the balance sheet, and the revenue flows into cash because they received the cash, right? You paid for the flight. Now, what now happens to their balance sheet or to their P&L on the 1st of January 2019? Exactly, it's not affected. But not necessarily. Their COGS will go up for the equivalent value. Their revenue is unaffected. for the purpose of that, revenue, nothing will change. Am I right? Accra accounting. Am I right? Yeah, nothing will happen to revenue. But COGS will go up because now they've incurred the cost. The plane now flew. Does that make sense, guys? So VAT will go up, but there's not going to be any corresponding whatever to what do you call it, to their corporate taxes. SG&A will remain the same. I mean, it's unaffected by it because they will pay those. I mean, it's like SG&A is almost like a fixed income of some sort. You can predict SG&A for years. That's why in financial modeling too, there are some things that you predict. There are some things that I mean, for example, this company, there is, let me see if I think I have a model. Sadly, I can't impute, I don't have the, I can't send it to you. Okay. So, I don't know, but it's really tiny. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's really, really tiny. Let me see, what is this? So. This is what a proper financial model looks like in reality. I prepared this sheet like a long time ago. All right. So, man, let me zoom in. It's really small. Can you see this? Can you guys see this? Okay. So you can see historical figures, projected figures, right? So usually historical figures are given to you, right? I mean, the company has done, this is what they did in 2013, this is what they did in 2014, right? So this model was actually done sometime in 2014. So we're supposed to project, what they're going to do to 2020. Does that make sense? So, so there's some things that you can project, like you can just do, what has been your previous average? And what has been the average, growth? Then you can now apply that across, the future states, right? So you can say that, okay, you grow, if you've been growing 10%, you should grow maybe an extra 10, 20% again or something like that on the average going forward onto your terminal year or whatever. Then things like direct costs too, because you know that cost of operations, which is cost of goods sold, your direct cost, is directly attached to your revenue. So if your revenue is growing, it makes sense for your direct cost to grow. Does that make sense? Now, but your SG&A doesn't necessarily grow, so your SG&A doesn't necessarily grow accordingly. You know why? Because operational efficiency is not achieved on day one. Does that make sense? Okay, let's say for example, this room is a bookshop, right? And then I'm the CEO of this bookshop. Then I employed one clerk. So this shopkeeper, attends to all my customers. Let's say I have an average of 10 customers a day, right? This shopkeeper is fine. It's possible that even though I increased, my customers by another 100%, meaning now I have 20 customers per day, the shopkeeper can still undo them. Does that make sense? So I don't need to get two shopkeepers. Do you guys understand? That's what I'm saying. So your SG&A would relatively still be the same. Even if I'm going to increase it, probably I'll decide to incentivize this shopkeeper and get like, okay, I will increase your salary. I will not increase this person's salary by 100%. Do you understand? It won't be an 100% increase. Most likely I will just say, okay, maybe inflation, I'll just increase by inflation rate to make sure that, okay, what you are still earning last year is what you are earning again this year. You guys have been taught time value of money, right? Right? You don't sound sure. What is time value of money? If I give you 1 naira today, or I promise to give you 2 naira tomorrow, which one will you take? 1 naira today. Why? Exactly, because you don't know what 2 naira, that 2 naira may be less, maybe worth 90 kobo tomorrow. Does that make sense? All right. So you cannot particularly say you want to project SG&A. Do you get? Because SG&A is not tied to operations directly. So at the point at which you optimize operations, your SG&A might take a drastic jump. Say for example, after a while of running business, I increase my customers to 30. So I noticed that my clerk is not attending to them very well any longer because they're now 30. So it means that I've maxed out that person's ability. All right. So then I now track down when was the last. When was it last efficient? Maybe it was at the point when I had 25 customers. Does that make sense? So I now decide to employ one more person. But that one person, I'll make sure that person is junior, right? Because I need that person to just not to assist, but to just attend to 5 more people. Because there's one person that's already attending 25. Do you get? So I need that person to just attend to 5 more people. So what do? I employ someone junior. Then I make the person look like, okay, if you work hard, we'll get more customers. Then we'll be able to pay you better. Right? This is reality, right? Does that make sense? So what happens is, then I now begin to try to expand my sales to make sure that, okay, I get extra 20 people so that by the time it's now 50, I can be sure that 2 people can attend to them effectively. Does that make sense? So you can't project SG&A. You can't just say that, oh, your SG&A has been growing for an average of 10%. So let's just apply 10% again. Sorry. How about this spoil this? Is it working? Okay. So you can't just apply 10% again into the future. That would be a very big error. So these are things I need you guys to be, mentally taking note of. Because it will come up your interview. That okay, what skills have you, have you acquired over time? They go like, yeah, financial modeling skills. And okay, tell me about financial modeling. Then you say, yeah, blah blah blah. There's an abstraction from reality. Okay, so I want to project my SG&A. And the company SG&A has been growing for an average of 15% year on year. I mean, what would you advise? They're like, yeah, since I've been growing for 15%, just apply a 15% average, and the thing just goes boom, right? Then the guy looks at you like, investment banker. It's a trick question, actually. It is a trick question. You could literally get that question. If you are an HR or outsourcing business, all right, you know that your salary will be huge because your job is to recruit people. Do you get? So your salary portion will be huge, but modern accounting techniques does not even allow you to put your salary because you're an HR business. Your business is recruitment. So modern accounting principles does not allow you to even put your salaries in SG&A. The salaries that you put in SG&A are the people that are non-core operational people. Say your cleaner, your manager, and all that. But the HR salaries will still go to COGS. Another example is technology. I work in technology, for example. So, and I'm a business manager for revenue assurance and collections. So I see my books every month. I have an accountant. He sends my books to me every month, right? So I see what happens, right? So for example, my salary as a business manager goes to SG&A. Salary of my business analyst and all of that, it goes to SG&A. But my developers, the guys that are writing the codes, their salary is not SG&A. Because the operations of the business is technology. Does that make sense? The operations of the business is what the business does is to create technology products. And technology is not tangible. Humans are the ones that operate, that write those codes out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, are you sleeping? But you're dozing. You can take a walk. So, now, humans are the ones that write this code. So their salary of the technology team, developers and co, the salary goes into COGS. Because it's operational for us, for a technology business. Does that make sense? So the point at which somebody throws that kind of question to you and says, in fact, when it goes like, my salary has been increasing for an average of 15% year on year, they're like, okay, what kind of business are you? So your salary, is there a portion of your salary that is tied to core operations? Say, for example, you're a tech business, although you're an outsourcing firm, whereby you incur a lot of salary cost because you've outsourced a lot of your people. Because that's the business you do. Does that make sense, guys? So those are the simple things that you're supposed to look out for as analysts. you can't just project SG&A. You know, we get on this thing for a long time because you would actually get questions from this. You would definitely get questions from this when you talk about financial modeling in an interview. Like, so how do I project my SG&A? What do I do? Then you can now distill the SG&A further. Things like telephone costs. So telephone cost and internet. For example, if let's say the internet subscription in this for this room is 20,000, it will change 10 years from now, except they change price. And even they change price, most likely the price will come down, not up. Do you understand? Vending machine. Vend. Huh? That's why internet is quadrupled. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Because they are supposed to open numerous shops. Yeah, so they are supposed to open numerous stores, and they're going to put internet in those stores as well. Of what? Of the SG&A. So the reason why they did this model was that they're trying to attract investment. Now they needed to put that investment to work, and their plan was an aggressive growth. All right, in reality it is a clothes making business. So they are trying to bring China to Nigeria, more or less, because most of the clothes we wear are printed in China, right? So what they want to do is that they want to bring clothes factories back into Nigeria. Then they now sell. So they want to have like an end-to-end control of the supply chain. They are going to be the clothes manufacturers, all right? That is the printing and all of that. Then they also be the sellers. So they want to open stores in different parts of Nigeria where they'll be selling their clothes. So I mean, of course, when you open more stores, your rents will go up. Salaries will go up because you are going to employ more people. Diesel and all of that will go up because you're going to put generators in all of these stores, you know. So that's why it looked like their stuff was, you know, really going up. But if you compare the growth of their SG&A to operations, it's not directly proportional. Does that make sense? It's not directly proportional. Huh? Yeah. You have to itemize every line item, yes. Anything that's regarding SG&A, you're going to analyze everything, like one by one. Yeah. So, for the airline business, right? For the airline business, what happens is, by January, nothing happens to their P&L. Nothing happens to their P&L, except that COGS goes up. But their balance sheet, something happens. What happens to their balance sheet? What happens to their balance sheet now? You know that cash went up when they collected money. Then account payables too went up. So now what happens to their balance sheet?
Yeah, I think COGS is better, right? It definitely reduce their profit. They retain earnings to be affected by it.
Yes. Retain earnings to be affected as a result. Then what will now balance out that retain earnings reduction? Yes, payables. So payables will go down, retain earnings too will go down, and that balances out the effect. Does that make sense, guys? What happens to the statement of cash flow? The same. Nothing happens. Nothing happens to the statement of cash flow. As at January 1, nothing will happen to the statement of cash flow. Because income is not affected. Does that make sense, guys? So now, in the case of a business that provides service first before income is received, a classic example are the e-commerce businesses in Nigeria that they allow you to pay on delivery, right? I mean, the day you make the order, according to accrual accounting, income is recognized when invoice is raised, right? Right? What's your name? Emeka. So, according to your accrual accounting, income is recognized when invoice is raised. When invoice is raised, is that when income is recognized? Or so the day you click buy that jeans on Jumia, Gmail gives you an invoice. It tells you that it costs 15,000 naira. Yes or no? Then they go like, confirm if you want to make purchase. Then you confirm. Then you follow up with a call. The reason why they are doing that is because there are a lot of operational dependencies. For example, what if they get to you and you don't pay, right? And of course, there are books that reported that they've sold. So what will now happen? They're going to doctor the books. Huh? Less what? Return inwards. What does that mean? By customers. It's called return inwards. Okay. So it says that there's a return inwards book that if you don't, if you return a good, they give back. So in reality, most businesses don't actually allow you to get cash back, because if you shop in, maybe say the UK or the US, when you buy something, if you want to return it, they exchange it for you. They don't give you money. A few of them do cash back. A few will do cash back. Actually, they do cash back. But most of the time, what you find is that order, after they've called you, because they have their own operational process of confirming the order, right? You click, order, you put in your cart, or what's that thing called? Then when you bring it, then you now check out. Once you check out, they don't even follow up with a phone call, and then they go like, oh, you just placed an order for 5,000 naira worth of jeans or something like that. Can you please confirm? Then you say yes. All right. Then they recognize your revenue. So what happens to their P&L that day? Delivery is not done until after 2 weeks. So what happens, guys? You said revenue goes up. Okay. What else? What else happens? What happens? What happens now, guys? What happens to the financials? Sorry. Revenue goes up. What else? Huh? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? COGS will go up. Yeah, COGS will go up too. What else? COGS will go up because, they incurred inventory cost. So the moment you buy, it's going to be part of their COGS, right? So, okay, what else? Rebecca, what happens? What happens? You don't know what happens? What's distracting you? You are distracted. Yeah. What happens? What happens to your chief? You can't be distracted. So what else happens to other financials? Like their balance sheet. Exactly. Trade payable will go up. I'm sorry, account receivable rather will go up, right? Account receivable will go up now. Is account receivable an asset or a liability? It's an asset. So what counterbalances that? Inventory. Inventory will do what? Inventory will reduce. Yes. What else happens? What the after effect of net income? Of course. But net income as what do you call it? Is that?
Net income.
But the increase in net income, when you are doing cash flow for operating expenses, you take care of what do you call it, current assets. So it means that your your account receivable is true, but have negated the effect of your net income, meaning that nothing will happen to your cash from operating expenses, right? So guys, anybody want to say something? Oh, you can't hear me. So what I was saying is, on the statement of cash flow, right? Sorry, can I have water? Water. So on the statement of cash flow, So guys, Okay, guys, I think the rain has come down a little, so what we're saying is, these guys, junior, they recognize revenue, but they've not collected cash. So what we agreed was income will increase on their P&L, COGS will go up on their P&L, every other thing will be impacted as well, taxes and all of that, net income. The net income is going to be impacted on the equity side as retained earnings, right? Then accounts receivable would also go up to counterbalance what do you call it? Then inventory will go down, right? Then on the cash flow statement, net income will go up, right? But the change in operating working capital, which is inventory, receivables, you know, it's right here. Have you guys done this yet? So they taught you how to calculate changes in operating. What is working capital? Huh? Yeah, current assets minus current liability. What is now operating working capital?
If that's what working capital that has to do with the core portion of the business.
Exactly.
That's minus cash and debt.
Simple. That's simple. It's not hard. I don't like the way you guys are looking at. Oh, thank you. I don't like the way you guys are looking at me like maybe I'm conjuring this thing up. So your changes in operating working capital will net out the effect of the net income. Because yes, you know, money has not been received, right? Cash has not been received. And your statement of cash flow, what it tells you is your cash position. How much is in your account as of today? Not revenue. Revenue does not equal to cash. Does that make sense? For example, I work in a B2B firm, all right? Or should I say B2B? So most of my business clients, not like most, all my clients are government businesses or government agencies. I have Lagos State government, I have the federal government, I have FRS in federal government, I have the Office of the Vice President in federal government, I have Ministry of Health, federal government, I have Ministry of Finance in my portfolio, federal government. Huh? Business government, G means government. So now the usual trend in B2G businesses is that you will have revenue, but you won't have cash. That is the usual trend in B2G businesses. You will have huge revenue because government contracts are very lucrative. If you collect one contract like this, almost you are made. I'm not joking. One of the, I have a project with Lagos State government that right now, that project is just a 6 weeks project, 6 weeks. And it's costing them 36 million naira for just 6 weeks. Do you get? Now, I have another contract with Lagos State government that will fetch close to 800 to 900 million every year, year on year. All things being equal. Right? I have a contract with the federal government, Ministry of Finance, that are more. The revenue is as big as their receivables. They are usually as big as their revenue. In fact, sometimes we even write off some debts. Even taking 2 to 3 years, the government has not paid. Because the new government comes to the place, they're not be like, yes, I'm auditing the old governments. We don't believe any of their contracts. So you could be there 3 years, you've not collected your money. But you've worked. You get? These are the risk of B2G businesses. So revenue and cash are 2 different things. Do you get? And your statement of cash flow tells you your cash position. How much do you have in your account right now? Does that make sense? Exactly. So because cash has not come in, all right, but your net income has gone up. So you need to negate the effect of your net income that has gone up by your operating working capital. Does that make sense? So your operating working capital will negate the effect of your net income. So there's no change. There's no net overall change in cash from operating activity. Does that make sense? Now, when they now bring the goods to the house, you now pay them. What happens to your P&L? Nothing happens to the P&L. Nothing. Nothing happens. What happens to the balance sheet? The money will go down, yes. What else? Cash will go up. Exactly. We should negate each other. If the revenue goes down, then the negative factor is cash will go up. Now, another thing to bear in mind as analysts is that on the balance sheet, if something happens on one side, something must negate it. That's why it's called a balance sheet. If something increases somewhere on the balance sheet, something else will reduce somewhere. So if assets goes up, most likely, what do you call it? Equity should either go up or come down, whereas liability will do what? Either go up or come down to reflect that change. Asset plus what? Liability plus equity. So if asset goes up, liability and equity, one of them must go up or come down to reflect the corresponding change. Does that make sense?
But there are times we have like asset can offset each other, right? Like
Yeah. It's possible. There's sometimes, yes, like Lenny said, sometimes assets can offset each other. Sometimes it happens that way. And nothing will happen to liability and equity. Are you an accountant? How do you not know accounting?
Just like that.
I just said it.
It's like receivables and they are all assets.
Yeah, they are. Are you an engineer? You're in finance. One of finance.
No, not finance.
Finance. Alright. What school? So there's a finance course in the University of Lagos. Banking finance. Just finance. Yeah. Why did I go to England? I'm not wasting time with this. Where did you people? Oh, how was I wasting time with you? Alright, so yeah. So for anything that happens on the balance sheet, there's a corresponding, negation of that activity on that same balance sheet. Alright? So you need to always bear that in mind. Because when you get questions like what happens if this happens and that happens? Sorry, just a minute. So when are they going to do? When are they going to do? When are they going to do? 5 o'clock. So no break today. Oh, okay, alright. So I keep going. Okay. So another type of model is called the DCF model, discounted cash flow. We don't know what DCF is. You know what DCF is? Discounted cash flow. It's used to arrive at what? The valuation of a business, the value of a business, right? So you can build a DCF model. I think a DCF model in this. This is the DCF model in this business. You know what? The first one, the first model I told you about was the three-statement model. Three-statement model. You guys should bear it in mind. You can do a lot more research, like go on YouTube and just Google three-statement models. You see a lot of videos, alright, about three-statement models, short courses on three-statement models. Have you ever heard of Udemy? Udemy.com. Yeah, you find a lot of courses. They have free courses of financial modeling. Let's go to get me and go and check free courses. We have loads of free courses of financial modeling. All right. Our internet is not up. I will show you. So basically, this is a DCF model. Now it looks very simple, but the inputs to this model is extremely complex. But this is what it is generally. Startup cost. Do you guys understand what startup cost means? Startup cost. You are saying it. Okay, what's startup cost? Exactly. The capital you use to start the business is called the startup cost. All right. So you start from the startup cost. When you want to do a DCF model, you start with the startup cost. Then the next thing is your cash flow from operating activities. All right. Now you need to remember that DCF is a discounted cash flow. So it is about cash. It's not about revenue. Because revenue can be distorted. Do you get? For example, if you are in the airline business and they're just talking about your revenue, because your revenue equals cash most of the time, because you must have collected the money beforehand. Easy. But if you're in the B2G business where revenue may not come in 2 years, do you understand? You cannot operate based on that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's a risk factor. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, the next thing is they're going to do cash flow from operating activities, then cash flow from investing activities. You guys understand the concept of investing activities? What are investment activities? Property, plant, and equipment. Most of the time, research. All right. If you invest in research to optimize your operations, do you get? Have you guys heard of this business before? IKEA. I've heard of them before. If you've not heard of them, go and Google them. It's a furniture business, but they are known all over the world. They are the biggest player in the furniture business over the world. And it's a Swedish company, right? It's owned by a Swedish man. And that business has been like over 50, 60 years old. But they're the biggest person in the furniture market today. Now, what they do is that they find ways to reduce their price year on year. And even though they are reducing their price every year, they make more money than all their competitors combined. How do they achieve that? Because they find innovative ways to reduce the cost of production. All right. So they don't reduce the quality, but their cost of production, they find ways to reduce them. Now, to reduce your cost of production, you must have invested in research, R&D. So your R&D cost, most of the time, is part of your investment activities, your investing activity, because you are trying to use that to improve your business operationally. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Then you now get your free cash flow. Then you calculate your terminal value. You know what the terminal value is? Do you guys know what the terminal value is? Terminal value. Have you ever been taught terminal value? Terminal value. You don't know. You don't remember. terminal value. This is a very, very important piece of modeling, especially a DCF model of valuation. You know why? Because what we are trying to achieve is that we want to understand the growth of that business. All right? But the truth is that we cannot tell how long the business is going to last. Right? Now, there's a fundamental principle. The nearer you see, the clearer it is, isn't it? So that is nearer to me, I can see it more clearly than that is farther. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So it means that I can tell you, right, what you can become in 2 years' time. Like if I say, if you continue on this pattern, you most likely become an engineer in 2 years. Then it means that I can have a clear period of 2 years than a period of 5 years. Does that make sense? Then it means that I can have a better picture of 5 years than a picture of 10 years. Same way I can have a better picture of 10 years than a picture of 100 years. Does that make sense, guys? So what this means is that you need to, at some point, you know, take care of perpetuity. You know what when you say something is perpetual? You guys do probability sets and sort of that. You know, the assumption, basically, nobody starts a business today for that business to just live 1 year and die, right? Most likely you start a business so that it can live forever. A lot of us want to start businesses that will live 150, 250, 300 years old. You guys know the oldest company in the world? The oldest company in the world. The oldest company in the world. Yeah. It's a coffee business. Sam did a documentary on it recently. I got a chance to see it as well. What I can knew them for. It's a coffee business in London. They are tagged as the oldest company in the world. They are like 300 or 400 years old or something like that. Their name, I mean, so they didn't change their name. I mean, a lot of companies are old, but they must have changed their name over time. This was the name they've been since generations, is the name that they still have to today. Alright, it's a tea business. They started as a tea business and they moved into coffee. And now they're still a coffee business, but they retained that name. Alright, it's the oldest business in the world. CNN did a documentary on them recently, I saw it on CNN. So, basically, we all want to build brands like that. For example, Quaker Oats. We're Quaker Oats, right? Quaker Oats is very old. Like really, really old. Like peak milk. As in, I met peak milk. Like, I'm sure my children will meet peak milk. Do you get? What brand again? Cadbury. Cadbury is a very old brand. Very, very old. Okay? So, eventually, most people want to build businesses that will last really long, that will outlive them. Alright? So, you have to take care of perpetuity, but you can't see really far into the future. Do you understand that? So, ceteris paribus, right? So, we take a time in future, the usual practice is 10 years. Usual practice is 10 years. For a stable business, it's 10 years. For startups, they usually target their next exit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Usual practice for stable businesses is 10 years. Like for example, a stable business is a business that is stable. The revenue growth has been like they've been averaging out on revenue over time. Averaging out. You don't know the average, but they have a consistent average of what the revenue looks like. Now you guys are looking so lost. You are guessing it. You can't hear me. No. This thing is very bad. Okay. I think it's going down now, have you? Erika, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So now here's the thing. We can't see into the future in perpetuity. So what scientists do, or financial analysts do, You can't hear me anymore. Let's chill. Madam, we need to do something about this class. Especially during the rain.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is just the best place. I expect for that venue. Either it's too small and it's not really convenient.
Why don't you guys use Unilab that they used to use?
That, yeah. That, it was pretty expensive. It was, yeah, it was just really like 100K.
Unilab, those Unilab places I used to use back then.
Back then, it was pretty expensive. Like, even before we came here, this was our last.
No, we they usually go through the finance club.
Oh, finance club.
The student finance club. So they give it to finance club very cheaply because they are students. So the finance club really want to book it on behalf of Talentmine. Talentmine now uses the place. So again, so it'd be like finance club wants to use the place for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks. Then they lock it down and they pay the student price, which is very cheap. Maybe 10K or so back in the. Yeah, bigger than this. They're like church theaters.
Yeah, and even the companies with stores, because there's no, we don't have chairs. I need to go rent chairs myself. I need to. That was what. They just reached out to their finance club because most of the time their finance club participates in Talentmine year on year. In fact, Talentmine was the reason why they started the finance club. Femi sits on the advisory. So guys, better now. Oh, so where are we? Guys, you know we've wasted time, so we need to like recoup very fast. So where are we? Yeah, sorry, this year. So free cash flow, like I said, terminal value, that's where we are. Terminal value is a function of your growth into perpetuity, right? But the truth is that we can't tell what's going to happen 100 years from now. So it doesn't make sense all right, that you begin to project into 100 years from now. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to project 100 years from now because you really can't tell what's going to happen 100 years. You can't tell if a business will last that long, all right? But you can tell if the business will last 2 years. You can tell it's going to last 5. You can tell it's going to last 10. Does that make sense, guys? So what happens is, for stable businesses, right, the industry standard is to use between 5 to 10 years as a terminal year. Then everything else is now factored at a constant rate into infinity. Does that make sense? So for stable business, and how do you do a stable business? A stable business is a business that's been recording, you know, like a stable growth rate year on year. So if, for example, you pick up a business and you say, oh, this business has been operational for 10 years. However, in the past 6 years, they've been averaging between 14 to 21% growth rate, right? So you can say, okay, this business is probably stable. They should be able to continue at this rate for the next 10 years. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? But for startups, right, you target their next exit. What is an exit for startup? Huh? Sit now, let everybody hear. Yeah, so exit could mean an acquisition for a startup, and it could also mean another round of funding. Okay? So startups have different rounds of funding. You guys are looking lost, like you've not heard this thing before. How do you think startups fund themselves? So your initial funding is called seed funding. That's the initial funding. It's usually in the form of grants or angel investors and stuff like that. You didn't know that? Seed funding. That's your first round of funding, right? Then eventually you now do the Series A funding, Series B funding, Series C funding. Then you now go into more mature stuff like me getting a proper PE firm. Because most of your Series A to C is handled by a VC firm. Do you guys understand the difference between VCs and PEs? What is a VC firm? What is a PE firm? Okay. So, huh? The difference is clear now. One is a venture capital firm, meaning they look at early growth businesses and they exit in 2-3 years. PE firms, on the other hand, they do what we call leverage buyouts most of the time, right? They look for ways to finance your funding, you know, through debt. Then with the potential, with the thinking that they're going to get a very huge upside later on, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. So you get. So Series funding, venture capital funding is usually like between a year to 2 years, depending on the industry you are in. For tech business, it's even faster than that. Tech businesses do like maybe 6 months, they are already raising another round of funding. In another 6 months again, they are already another round of funding. Because tech businesses blow cash very fast. They burn through cash very fast. In fact, there are some valuation methods that allow you to value them based on how much cash they are burning for tech businesses. Because, for example, Twitter became profitable when? 2016. That's when they began to report profits. Do you know how long Twitter has been? Yeah, they've been doing a lot of research and all of that, but the honest truth is that they are very profitable, or they're a very viable business from an investment point of view, but they are not necessarily making profit. Does that make sense? And they still went on to do IPO, even though they were not making profit. Sure you get. So funding, that I think you guys should try and read through this, because the honest truth is that as investment banking analyst, your chances are not limited to investment banks. You could work in a PE firm. Some of you will end up in VC firms. As a matter of fact, you may be too young in the career to know what really interests you. That's the honest truth. You may be too young. If you work in an investment bank that has PE practice, like if you work in Goldman, for example, Goldman has PE. I don't think they touch VC at all, but they have PE practice, they do underwriting and all of that. I mean, maybe you are lucky to work in their PE team or something like that. But if you don't get into Goldman and you love PE, you can actually apply to PE firms. There are a lot of PE firms in Nigeria too that you can apply to. And in fact, PE firms even pay better than investment banking firms in Nigeria. That's the honest truth. in this Nigeria that we are in, this same one that Buhari is our president, the PE firms in Nigeria, they pay better on the average than investment banks. And you can tell why. The reason is because the investment banking environment in Nigeria is not that mature. There are no deals. When was the last IPO you heard about? MTN has no IPO years now. They are just in the process of doing it. So when was the last IPO? The real IPO that happened in Nigeria. Where was it? Medview. In fact, they just said in Nigeria, that's the question. They didn't a real IPO. Imagine. So let's even take that as a valid IPO. I mean, one IPO in 2 years. Imagine what that looks like. Do you get? Imagine what that looks like. Have you guys heard about dealbook.com? Dealbook. How you heard about this? You've not heard about this? You guys just started though. Dealbook.com should be your Bible. As an IBD analyst, this should be your Bible, more or less. Like you wake up in the morning, the first thing you check is dealbook.com. Because all deals globally, not all deals, like relevant deals, I mean, they will not be covering deals in Nigeria, trust me. But I mean, the relevant deals, right, is listed there by their categories. You know, there are different types of deals. There are M&A deals. What's that M&A? Exactly. There are financing deals. What financing deals are? When you refinance your, like maybe a debt or something, or you're trying to raise a debt instrument. Like you want to, what do you call it? You want to issue a bond. Huh? Or what? Commercial paper, yes. Is another word for bond. Then there are PE, LBOs, leverage buyouts, deals on Dealbook. There are different funding. Just check. I mean, you have internet on your phone, Abi. So just from today, just that's your bookmark of Linda Ikeji. Just put dealbook.com there. I'm not joking. That's your bookmark that you put lindaikeji.com. Just change to dealbook.com. I mean, that's the best bet. You want to get deals every day. In fact, they give daily updates on all their deals. Daily. So I'm sure that maybe the first time you read it, it might look too abstract because they are probably in the middle of a deal already. It's most likely not a new deal that you are reading about. So it might be a bit abstract for you to start, starting from the get-go, maybe because most of the time this deal starts maybe 2, 3, 4 months ago. Okay, so but don't worry, just start. Trust me, a week down the line, you get to a point where you don't even have to read the whole paragraph to understand what is going on. That's exactly what I do now with news. I have CNN, I have Bloomberg, I have Business Insider. I get pop-ups. As soon as I read the news summary, I already know what's going on. I don't have to know details. Like Trump now said this to Putin now said. I mean, once you see Trump sided with Putin over American Intel. I mean, what else am I reading? Like really. But maybe when you start out, you might have to read, the details. And again, for analysts, you really have to read the details actually, because those are the kind of things that will come up in interviews. Trust me, the person interviewing doesn't even what you know. Like for example, I've asked you questions in this class that I was telling you that I'm just knowing, and I'm intentionally letting you know that I didn't know, because a lot of you guys, and it's not your fault. It's not all of us our fault. The way we were brought up, all right, especially if you are from the southwest, where when people ask you questions, you must always know the answer and all of that. Do you get? The person that's asking you to possibly does not even know. Do you get? So do not feel any form of lack of confidence to not answer. And if you don't know, just say that I don't know, because it's something that the person asking you doesn't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't be under pressure to always give answers. If you don't know, there's nothing wrong in saying I don't know in interviews. There's absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, it pays you more to say you don't know than to go and say stupid things. Trust me, I've been in interviews where the person will just keep, but you don't know, Joe. Do you get? Because even if you don't know, I'm dumb enough. I'm not dumb enough to not know that you are saying rubbish, right? Because I can tell, I mean, this thing is not, it's not gelling now. Do you get? So that's how it works, right? So, so deal book, they give you all the deal breakdowns. I can see somebody already reading deal book inside class. Or you are reading Facebook. Which one is it? So I assume it's deal book. To the deal book, okay. Deal book side, okay. It better be deal book. Or is it thing that it looks like you're swiping? Okay. Because his finger was doing like this. Alright. So terminal value is your value into perpetuity. So for startups, you pick up their next exit, maybe their next funding round. And usually they know. Because from a strategic point of view, I mean, if you are the CEO of the startup business, you know that, okay, I need to raise $10 million. Now, this $10 million will last me for the next six months. Because you already have things you want to spend it on. People don't raise money because they just feel like raising it. They raise money to actually satisfy a business need. All right, maybe you want to expand aggressively into the market. And that's what you find most of the time with tech businesses. Because tech businesses are very easy to replicate. The barrier to entry is very low. Have you guys heard about Michael Porter? You guys have heard about him? You can just Google him on Wikipedia. You don't have to go and read his book and the five forces of yeah. You don't really have to read the book, but you can just Google it. Wikipedia will give you a very good summary of who he is. He's a professor of some sort. I think Harvard Business School or something like that. So, business environment, I'm sure your barrier to entry is very critical. I think people that study economics, they must have taught you barriers to entry. It's very critical that, I mean, when you check a business environment, you should say, okay, is barrier to entry really easy? Is it very hard? Like, for example, if you want to start a bank in Nigeria, the barrier to entry is extremely hard. First of all, you need to have a minimum capitalization of how much? 25 billion naira. Minimum capitalization. As in, you put cash inside central bank and not touch it. That's what capitalization means. Do you guys understand what that means? Like, you put 25 billion naira in cash, you put it inside central bank, and you're not going to touch it. You can't touch it. You can't do anything with it. Do you know what that means? To just tie money down, that's not doing anything. Do you guys understand what that means? From a financial point of view, it is scary. Like, it's extremely scary. That's why, don't worry, with time, you people will say, when you become investment bankers, you don't want to save anymore. You're like, what am I saving for? Because it's scary. You just put money somewhere. You're saying you have colo, you're not putting money there. Like, really? Because if you compare the rate of depreciation and all of that, like, this 10 naira that you put that you have turned down, next year is worth less than that. Why don't I do something with 10 naira now that we bought 10 naira, then wait till next year I'm saying that I'm saving for the rainy day, then I'll come and use it for something that's less it's worth. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Save, don't follow bad examples. But what I'm trying to say is, barrier to entry into banking is really high. Minimum 25 billion naira. If you don't have 25 billion, fuck off. Sorry, edit that. Right? Just go away. Does that make sense? Now, but on the other hand, if you want to start a tech business today, all you need to do is get a developer. Fintech. Well, people say that they are not eroding banks. No, they're not. Anybody that says that is anybody that is not, that person has a very shallow understanding of the banking sector. Because fintechs cannot even operate with the banks. In fact, they've taken out a lot of the cost of the banks. But that's a different conversation. Now, here's the thing. To start a tech business, all you need is just get a developer. If you get any guy that can program Python, you are good to go. I'm telling you, with all of you in this room, with your business, with your understanding of business and financial management, you can start a business now. Get a guy that understands Python and be like, okay, let us start a tech business, technology that can help you people to balance their, accounting guys. Let's start this, you just input something and it balances your balance sheet and all of that, and if you pay your taxes at FRS, you automate the process of receiving your tax clearance, blah, 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 blah. I mean, then, bam, you start a business. What do you call it? Tax pay. Yeah, that's it. We start a business, right? We start a business. Emeka, we are here. We are in this together. All four of us. We are starting this business now. Yeah, we started a business already. I don't know about you guys. Look, 4 co-founders right here in this class. Right here, right now. Tax pay. We started, next minute, We just go and, now, probably we got a developer guy or two guys that are working from inside our garage. That's how it starts now. From inside our sitting room. We don't have garage in Nigeria. Our sitting room, right? So, I have a house. So the person will be doing my house. They'll be typing, they'll be coding. Then this person is working for free. Or we promise them equity, right? Like, okay, guys, don't worry, you own 5% of the business. So the guy keeps working. Then at some point, we need a go-to market strategy. Because now you now have an MVP. An MVP is called minimum viable product, or sometimes called POC, proof of concept. You have an MVP now, all right? You tested it and it has been working. So now you need to go into market. So the first thing that comes to your mind is what? You need to scale, like really fast. Because the moment you step into market today and say that, pam, tax pay, just that. Those OU boys, where are they? OU boys, identify yourselves. I don't trust them. All these OU boys, I don't trust them. You know you hear tax pay like this, bam, and you know they love developers in OU. Trust me. I can categorically tell you that close to 40% of developers in Nigeria, most of them, they are really from OU. Like close to 40% of developers, like well-meaning developers in Nigeria. I don't know how the school is doing it. They churn out developers like this. And I'm not saying it because I'm from OU. I'm in the tech space, so I know. Like developers like this. Another school that is really doing well is this school in Kaduna. They are fantastic. Developers are like, So now, all boys, I'm sure this guy, somebody that this guy, I don't trust him. This guy with face cap. I don't trust him. What's your name again? Taiwo. I don't trust this Taiwo guy. Let's be on record. You are recording this. I don't trust Taiwo from OU. I know that he has one friend in school that knows how to develop. That's a developer. That guy. He's following you too. I don't trust of them. Now, we don't want to share our business idea with them. Now, you see what these guys will do is that they're not going to start taxpay.ng. You know their own is taxpay.com. They're not going to start taxpay.ng. Alright? Same thing. Copy and paste. But you see, because Taiwo has one uncle like that's contesting for governor. So the guy has more like some 5 million naira that he's not using. You get? You know that some people just have money that they're not using. It's just there. So Taiwo has this uncle that wants to do a report to the government in Osun State. Alright? The guy has 5 million naira that he's not using. So Taiwo was like, uncle, give me this money now. Of which we that have done a lot of work, that we are Lagos boys, we are still struggling, we are still hustling. We are going from pillar to post. Then somebody gives Taiwo 5 million, and Taiwo just start Instagram adverts, sponsored ad on Instagram. Next minute, Taiwo is popular. But he copied our idea, right? We are still beefing him. And we beef him.
Sorry. So how do you think about seed funding?
Seed funding. Well, there are a lot of seed funding organizations in Nigeria. Yeah, just can pitch them. And a lot of them are very open to hearing your view. Seed funding, naturally, seed funding don't take equity from business. In fact, most of them just don't give you grants. They don't profit. It's not for profit. They give you grants. You don't have to pay them for anything. They give you grants. As long as they are sure that you are not just collecting money. Because many of them, even though they give you money, they still also stay on your operations. Try to see that, okay, you are using money for the right things. So they won't put money in your account. But for example, if you say, okay, let's say for example, you start a business, taxpay.ng. Now, taxpay.ng is a software. But that software has to sit on an infrastructure. So cloud space, security, access, maintenance, all of those things, they cost money. So you want to use maybe AWS, Amazon AWS. Then Amazon AWS costs a lot of money too. So you now go and meet your seed funding agency and say, please, I need money. I'm a startup. I have this very good product. And you're like, okay, let's help you. All right. So instead of them paying into your account, they pay Amazon for you. Do you get? So they don't literally drop money in your account like that.
Do you know if you agree to sponsor an idea or you have to have started?
Many of them have different qualification criteria. So you would have seen it on their website. They will tell you that, okay, if you have an idea, bring it. So they will tell you that. But hardly does anybody do that. At idea level, most likely they will not even look at you. Because, you don't need money to start an idea. Let's get that right. Because we all have this mentality that, oh, you need money. You don't need money to start an idea. There's something called lean startups. There's a book on it. I'm not saying that you guys are finance analysts, so they don't start teaching entrepreneurship. But you can start that on your own. So the seminar value here was at 2020, And that's because the company was planning a big exit at 2020. There was a PE firm that was supposed to invest in them at 2015, and that PE firm was open to exit at 2020. And that's why 2020 was chosen in this model. You guys understand how to calculate terminal value, right? There's a formula now. Me and manual from evaluation, you see terminal value calculation there. You guys know the value. Go and check it. So when you now get the free cash flow plus the terminal value, that gives you the total free cash flows. Does that make sense? Now you now need to go and get your discount factor. That discount factor, a lot of things goes into it. That's why I said this model looks very simple, but a lot of things go into this model. All right, so discount factor, inflation goes into it, because inflation is a discount factor, right? Then sometimes you can also put some risk factors into it as well. Then you now discount, and get your present value of this amount. By the time you net it off, you get your net present value. So the net present value of this company, by 2020, the net present value is supposed to be 4.4 billion naira. Does that make sense? Because this is a million. Can you see million naira? This is a million. This is 4,448 million. So that's definitely 4.4 billion. Right? And then the internal rate of return is about 192%. So that tells you that the business has really strong growth potentials. 192 is like huge. But it's not unprecedented, especially in third world countries, because the opportunities in third world countries are amazingly huge. Do you understand? Because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of opportunities, but there are not a lot of businesses that are satisfying those opportunities. Do you understand? So that's why many people just will be like, okay, aggressive marketing, all right? So that's an example of a DCF model. Another type of model is an LBO. You guys know what an LBO is? Leverage buyout, yes. Leverage buyout. So leverage buyout models, there's none here. I don't have one here. But basically follow the same principles of leverage buyouts. What are leverage buyouts? The word leverage means what? Debt, exactly. So, like I said, financial people, you guys try to sound smart and stuff like that. It's just simple. Leverage buyouts is you buy something using what? Simple. All right. But then, before you can buy something using debt, you need to be able to understand the credit load that business can take. Like, okay, how much credit can we, push into the business? All right, because there's the healthy amount of credit that you should have. Did they teach you that when they were teaching financial statements? Accountants, you guys know now. There's a healthy amount of credit or of liability you should have. It's only in Nigeria you see businesses that all they have is equity and assets. They don't have any liability. Like, I don't borrow money from anybody. I don't borrow money from anybody. I run my business with my own money, my hard-earned cash. It's only in Nigeria you find things like that. And it's very wrong. You're not supposed to run totally on equity. There are a lot of, you guys can also research it if you want to. Like, does it even make sense to totally run your business on equity? Or does it totally make sense to run it on cash or on credit? As a matter of fact, there's something they call cost of equity. You guys have heard cost of funds, right? Did you cost of funds? Cost of funds is what? The cost of financing your business. That's cost of funds. Now, you either finance your business through equity or liability or debt, right? So now, cost of equity is always more expensive than cost of debt. That's the truth. Cost of equity is always is amazingly expensive. You'll be shocked. So when you go like, yeah, it's my own business money, I don't look at anybody's face. I do my own thing. I'm a self-made man. All right? It's only in Nigeria for things like that. Wait, are there Ghanaians on this? Are there Ghanaians on this? That's not going to be. Can't be abusive. Okay, so yeah. Are you sure it's Ghanaians? Yeah. So yeah. Generally speaking, it's only in Nigeria you find scenarios like that, but those scenarios are not even correct. from a financial intelligence standpoint, all right? When you run your business through debt, is a sign that you're actually more sure of the outcome of a business than when you run your business through equity. And that's why you see when companies decide to issue bonds, their equity just keeps rising. Because people are like, oh my God, if these people are trying, they don't want to collect money from us. They want to go and be using debt. Because, you know, debt has definite time of exit. I collect money from you, borrow money for 3 months. In 3 months' time, you're out of my business. Shikena, go. But equity is perpetual. Till infinity. They'll still keep collecting money from you. Do you get? So when you are going after debt, you know, people that understand finance, they start running after you. Then your stock begins to rise. Like, oh my God, these people, the fact that they are using debt to finance this thing, most likely. You get what I'm trying to say? So, leverage buyout model exists. I don't have an example of it to show you, but you can, to be honest, you can just research this on YouTube. And then there's an IPO model. IPO model, some people call it price model as well. Yeah? IPO or pricing. IPO, initial pricing, what's that thing called? Well, I was about to just, these are really sharp. I wanted to just confuse you a little bit. Alright, so initial public offering, there's a model, but sometimes some people call it pricing model. Because what you are really trying to achieve in an IPO model is to know the price per share, to arrive at a price per share. Like how much are you going to sell 1 unit of your share? That's what you are trying to achieve when you are doing an IPO model. All right. So sometimes, and a lot of times, many of these models like are intertwined. Like, you know, you have to do 3 statements model first. Then you see how it flows into your DCF. Then you now get the value. Then you now, you know, find a way to, you know, discount it back to the present. Then you now get your price per share. You know, using DCF. You know what I'm trying to say. So I mean that they are a bit intertwined, but yeah, there's an IPO model. What you really want to do is to achieve, or what you want to achieve actually is to know what you should sell at the IPO. So now, I'm sure you guys understand the IPO process. Who is an underwriter in an IPO? Yeah, of course, an investment bank. What does the underwriter do? What are they doing? What's their job? Guarantee to the what? Oh, okay. That's the answer. So, underwriter basically guarantees the amount you want to raise. So now the reason why they guarantee the amount you want to raise is because they also believe that there's an upside to your price. Meaning when your price hits the market, they are sure that they will get more money than what they've guaranteed you. Does that make sense? So you want to raise equity 10 naira, then I come and meet you and say, Emeka, that 10 naira I will give you. Don't worry, solid. So you don't have to, it's not your concern anymore to think about how to get 10 naira. However, I'm going to own all the shares that you want to issue at your IPO and benefit from the upside. All right, does that make sense? So that's how underwriters make money. Does that make sense? Yes, very straightforward. Like simple, like logic, right? Same logic. So, but underwriters lose more too. Like in case of the Twitter IPO, you know, Twitter price started going down after a while. And then it wasn't fully subscribed. Even the shares were not fully subscribed. You guys know that, right? The Twitter IPO. Okay. So, so there's an IPO model that's established. And that thing is M&A model. Or just call them a merger model. No big deal. I mean, what you want to achieve with the merger model is to understand the composition of 2 businesses when they become one. Like what percentage of this is in this, what percentage of this is in the new company. Does that make sense? Guys, I think I'm losing you guys. Is that guys thing? Where is it? You are reading dbook.com. Oh, you're right, okay. So, a major model, basically, it helps you understand, the major dynamics from a numbers point of view between the two or more companies that are trying to merge. All right. Basically, I mean, do you guys know of any merger recently? Any recent merger? Or maybe an acquisition, a recent acquisition or merger? Huh? AT&T and who? Palm One. Oh, Time Warner. Oh, okay. I was say Palm One. I'm like, yeah, AT&T and Time Warner. That's a good one. And that good merger case is this one that's still ongoing, or has it been concluded? The Disney, Marvel. Is it concluded now? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Disney wants to buy Marvel. Fox wants to buy Marvel. Right? Where are you going? Somebody else is bidding for Marvel. Because Cobras just, I think they reneged. They said they're not longer bidding. They are going for Sky instead. Okay. Can you see? I don't know that, right? But I could possibly be interviewing you, and I'll be like asking you questions. Then you now be thinking like, this guy knows what he's saying. It's not that deep, right? But yeah. So mergers, when you create merger models, in fact they are very complex. Merger models are extremely complex. Of all types of models, I would most likely think of that as the most complex, because you are going to first model two companies separately, right? Then you now consolidate. And for people that are in accounting, that have prepared things like consolidated financial statements before, understand that is within the same company. It's still like a lot of work. Now talk about two different companies, because things like maybe one-offs, you have to take care of things like one-offs. Maybe the company acquired something that made their cash flow investing shoot up. You have to like discern that. It's not relevant, right? Or maybe the company sold off something, and that made their cash from other activities, or what's that thing called? Cash and cash equivalent rise up. You have to discount.
I have a question. So this is merger model. So like I want to ask a question I've been asked before. So what do you think are the advantage of merger? I said some things like the synergies and whatnot. I don't know how to say that stuff. So this is like again another thing you feel advantage.
So yeah, that's why I said you guys should not feel pressured, right? First of all, you need to and what Talentmine tries to achieve is not giving you the answer, is helping you think about the answers. Okay, so I was about to even go to that when mergers and acquisition. Now, mergers there are different types of mergers. There are some, I mean, or let me say there are basically two kinds or two types, horizontal and vertical, right? So when it's an horizontal merger, there are specific things you are looking out for. Does that make sense? When it's a vertical merger, there are specific things you are looking out for. Do you understand? And those specific things, they are not rocket science. Do you get? So if, for example, company A happens to be a coffee business in Jos, a tea business in Jos, and the biggest tea farm in West Africa is in Jos. You guys know? Sorry, it's in Kaduna rather. Sorry, Kaduna. The biggest tea farm in West Africa. The man is trying to sell now, and Obasanjo is bidding. Atiku is bidding as well. The man is very old. He's so, as in, I was opportunity to sit in a room with him one time in Abuja, and the guy just kept on complaining about how his children are not interested in farming. You didn't even know that there's a farm that goes straight to tea. You know, so he's going to adopt you. So if you're interested in tea, you would have known before now. All right, because and that's the thing about industries. An industry may be very big, but your interest is very, there's a niche in that, because They are doing that is agriculture, but what they do is snail farming, and they're doing really well. One of my cousin-in-law, the guy is doing fantastic well. He lives in the US. He comes to Nigeria every 3 months. He spends about 48 hours anytime he comes to Nigeria, and he has a snail farm in Ile-Ife. All right. So once he lands in Lagos, Ile-Ife, he gets to Ile-Ife, he harvests the snails, or they've harvested it for him. There's a way they kind of drying and all of that, just to preserve it, and exports to the US. You'll be shocked. You think that just maybe one bag that is taken to the US. This guy literally, as in, he gets immigration. Sorry, what are called? Customs permits. He pays all sorts of custom taxes so you can tell the volume is shipping out of Nigeria to the US. Snail. This guy is doing fantastic. He's my cousin-in-law. He's married to my cousin. They have 2 kids in the US. They have a house that they are paying mortgage on in the US. Fantastic people. They are doing well. Did you get? So, and it's snail. Snail that you go and how many do you eat per time? You don't drink? How much is it? You're eating snail KFC. These people. Look, let me do this for you. You're eating snail in KFC. You form my hands. You form my hands. Who knows where we eat snails now, Jerry? Where do we eat snails? Oh, you boys, you know Yala? Has she gone? Is she still there? She's still there, Abby. When you get to it, go and visit Yala. The place. They are eating snail in the place.
No.
They're not belly one snail for you, 1K. Yeah, you're a big boy. You're chopping 1K snail. Do you know how much they sell a bunch of snail on Express? Like they are going towards Ibadan. They sell like a bunch, like maybe 6 is in one bunch. Maybe like 1.5 or something, like a bunch. Then you go and use alum to work. Do you know how to make snail? You don't even know how to cook. That's why you're eating 1,000 snail. If you know how to make snail, you know how to make snail. You're not eating 1,000 snail. You know what? Like yesterday, I was shopping yesterday evening, and I saw corn, fresh corn in Spa, and they kind of put them together, and they're like, so it's tutu. So they put inside this very nice nylon stuff, and for 400 naira. Tutu corn, they're like this. I picked it, I was like, 400 naira. Just 2. And they're not like the long ones, or they are sturdy, but they're short. Yes, when I'm driving out of my house, I'm going, madam, the fresh one. I'll even pay the cost of roasted for the fresh, and I'm fine. It's not going to be 100 naira. So, yeah. So agriculture is that diverse, right? And someone is trying to, as a tea business, then what I now heard is that there is this company from Morocco that is a coffee business that is trying to acquire, the tea farm in Nigeria, right? It's a very large farm. I mean, I know the thing about agriculture, which is one of the things that we don't understand in Nigeria. Because when you meet Nigerian farmers, we like to outsource farming. Farming is not something you can outsource. Like, you have to literally live on your farm. That's how it works. Like, when you see the white boys from Texas and co, or when you go to Netherlands has one of the best or the advanced farming system globally. When you go to Netherlands, but they live on their farm. Like, they have a ranch, they have a horse, they are riding around the farm, they are checking things out. You can't be living in Lagos. I'm a farmer, and your farm is in Osun State. Well, for animal rearing, I'm talking about planting now, this time around. For animal rearing, there are ways around it. And it depends on the kind of animals. Like snails are stupid, they will not go. Catfish they are not. My dad has a catfish farm. Like, if you don't come consistently to your farm, there are those things, they bore holes and they swim away. Inside, those catfish don't need a lot of water to live. They don't need a lot of water to live. So, if you don't go there, they just like all your fish are gone. Where have they gone? They've entered mud, they've gone away. Somebody else is eating your fish for you. So basically, that kind of merger is what? Is the result of vertical. I mean, the tea company in Nigeria, but there's a coffee company from Morocco that wants to buy the tea farm in Nigeria, the tea business. Huh? That's vertical. What is vertical?
So the farm is business. Got it all. So this now is
The farm is what?
the farm is where they will be farmed.
Okay, let's start with what is a vertical merger? Let's start with that.
So probably the two companies like you said, they try to buy what is that new raw material to produce the
Yeah. So what is an horizontal merger? Fantastic. So when you're trying to go deeper into the value chain, or you're trying to go up into the value chain, is a vertical merger, more or less. So now, but when you are trying to acquire something that is not particularly a value chain issue, right? It could be just something outside your value chain, more or less. Is vertical. It's not. I mean, you're not on the same value chain. So now, this is a coffee business. It's in Morocco. So first thing, geographical reach are different. It's possible that the Moroccan company sells coffee to Nigeria, like they export coffee to Nigeria, but they actually are a Moroccan company. Does that make sense? Now, they are trying to acquire tea. So that's a competence that they don't have. I didn't say that a tea business is trying to acquire a tea farm. Do you understand? A Moroccan business, which is a coffee business, is trying to acquire a tea farm. Meaning they are trying to now move out of coffee business and they want to move into tea. Does that make sense? So what kind of merger is that? Yes, horizontal. Does that make sense? Now, if Moroccan business is trying to buy a Moroccan a coffee farm, for example, that is a different model entirely because that is vertical. Because they are now going deeper into the value chain. All right. So now, in that situation, what do you think they are trying to optimize for? Because I'm a coffee business, I'm trying to acquire a tea farm. It means that one, I'm trying to diversify my risk because I'm exposed to the coffee business. If anything happens to the coffee business, that's it. Do you get? But now, I want to move into tea. Meaning, if coffee is doing well, tea may not do well, but I'm fine. But if tea is doing well and coffee is not doing well, I'm still fine. Maybe things will change again tomorrow. So you're trying to diversify your risk. Is that it? Now, and that is that it's also possible that they're also trying to enter into a different geographical region as a means to establish themselves in that geographical region. Does that make sense? Because Nigeria is also one of the biggest consumers of coffee in the world. We're also one of them. We consume coffee a lot in this country. Like a lot. Don't worry, when you guys start to work, you know how they say that, you guys see that tweet? That the guy said, I think it was Covenant or so, they were graduating. So the Covenant Twitter guys, Covenant students that were graduating that year, now tweeting, oh, the stress is over, thank God and that. Then someone said, look at all these graduates that are saying the stress is over. Should we tell them? You just started. I just started. Should I tell you how my day went this week? Or how my week went? Should I tell you how my week went? All right. Who likes talk? Me. Or the class? No, well, it's easier to discuss with, when you try to create pictures. And that's why this is my style of teaching. I do teaching a lot. So, yeah. So, on Monday, of course, typical Mondays, meetings back to back. Sometimes I have close to 7 to 8 meetings on Mondays. There are some meetings that are statutory. You said? Do I have a PA? No, I don't. P, are you kidding me? Am I a government official? P freaking A. Are you funny? Nobody's going to give you a PA. I mean, you must be a director to get a PA in the private sector. Who is paying you? Who are you? No, they'll pay you well, but then your job is to get shit done. What is like you have a PA? Who is paying you? You have to be a director, like, to have a PA. As in, what are you paying for? Why can't you do it yourself? I mean, it's not government sector where 4 to 5. You now have one secretary that's typing things for you. No, let me do that too. Why don't you do your shit yourself? And I'm not an analyst too. So imagine the analysts on my team. Imagine how their day, because their day will be worse than mine. Yes, they are low on the value chain now. There are days with terrible, will be more as in if mine is terrible, just like they're in hell. I'm not joking. Because I've been analyst before and I know what it means. Alright? So my day starts typically on Monday, started at 8 o'clock because I have to meet with the engineering team of the firm. Then there are about 6 or 7 meetings thereabouts. And then I think I closed like around 9:30, which was really early. Yeah. It was really early, trust me. Like really early. Because in between these meetings, there are meetings that are statutory that have to do within my firm, there are meetings that have to do with the client. And now this is what happens with when you are working with clients. You are more or less a babysitter. Yeah, that's my job more or less. I babysitter. It's called corporate babysitting. Alright? I mean, because your client tells you, I mean, first of all, everything about business is hinged on relationships. If people don't like you, they can't do business with you. And most of the time, you don't know them before. For example, I think I told you guys that I didn't used to live in Lagos. I told you guys my last class. I said it, we were just not listening. Sorry, I moved to Lagos in 2014. And the truth is, I've been doing business in Lagos. So it means I have to create new relationships, right? So in the process of creating relationships, your clients begin to get personal with you. Now it is your job to let them get personal with you without you getting personal back. No, that's your job. I'm telling you, it's not easy. So imagine your client telling you on the phone that, yeah, my wife just said this, and I'll go like that. Then you're like, yeah, so that project I told you about, what the next steps will be this. Without making them feel that you didn't listen to them. It's not easy. Because some people will tell you about their wives, some people will tell you about that personal issues. Some women will tell you like their baby is teething and they couldn't sleep all night. No, they are real issues. And they have to come to work the next day. That's the life of the average modern woman. I'm telling you, they have to put up with housework, they have to put up with babies, and they have to compete with boys that cross-leg over TV all night. Do you get? Because think about the fact that maybe you are 25, right? You're a guy, you're 25. You're probably still living the baby boy life. You don't want to get married yet. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Emeka is living a dream, right? You don't want to get married yet, like 25. I mean, you have a good pay. There's this 120K that comes every month, and you're so happy about it and stuff like that. I mean, and then, I mean, you can do small things. Like, for example, you and your friends can go out for a night. I mean, a bottle of NSC at Quilox is 35K. So when 10 of you go out together, yes, now it's 35K. A bottle of VSOP, NSC is 35K. I'll see that. So when 10 of you pay for one bottle, you guys will be fine now, right? What's 10 divided by 35,000? 35. Yes, now you guys should start learning how to do these things now. Sorry, edit for this part from this. So you have to start learning how to do, because you will not just be, and then the girls in your office will not think that you are not interesting. Because you are just always going, and you are afraid because you are going because you are afraid of your pockets. Yes, we understand. Look, it's 35K. Imagine you are collecting 150K and then you have to go and use 35K to go and buy NSC. Imagine. For just one night. And there are still 3 more nights in the week. Do you get? Not talk of lunch, transportation, and all that, because you don't have a car yet, right? So the idea is that all the boys in the office, Gafa, where will they go this night? I don't get plans. I mean, we enter Pilox now. Gafa now. Yeah, we don't talk. I don't follow a data. Emeka, yes. Then next minute, 10 of you guys. Then you should invite your friends that are not in me. Then Emeka should invite his friends that are not in your company. Then all of you now come together. Then boys, just enter Pilox like this. We are straight face. We are coming here. We are spending all the money here. We are all the money. You get? Then get there. Wait. Where's the waiter? Where's the waiter? Straight face. Give me a bottle of VSOP. And a nice pocket, please. Run the bottle. Boom. Then when they bring they will now put light. They bring it for you. Then you're feeling like big boy. Then the video party in one VIP and you're not gonna do Snapchat. You're not thinking that you're part of the video. You're not doing like this. They're like, that boy is a big boy. So when the girls in your office now see that, they on Monday they want to talk to you better. Like, hi Emeka, what's up? I say, hi Emeka, what's up? How you doing? How's your weekend? I saw your snap. And he's like, yeah. I was just chilling with my friends. You know, it wasn't a big deal. We just, you just like downplay it, so it looked like it was a big deal. They didn't like 35. It's 35. Yeah. Say again. But imagine the ladies have to combat. I mean, a 25-year-old girl most likely thinking about, probably settling down. Alright. Okay. So she's 25. She's probably in a stable relationship already. Maybe she's been dating this guy from uni. That they be, love of her life and stuff. Yeah. Been dating from OU. Uni line boys don't they do things like that. You boys are not doing long. Look, you boys are not doing long relationships. Like 10 years. What? Yeah. 10. But you line boys, 3 months. We'll be done, right? There's no time. Yes, now. Yeah, nobody said you are not faithful, but you are faithful that 3 months. That's what we are saying. That 3 months you are faithful. You are faithful in that 3 months. That's what we are saying. We are saying this as in, that's what we are saying. So, so you are a 25-year-old chick. You probably have a stable relationship. You know all of those things. So weekends. So think about it too. You have a stable relationship as a woman. Weekend, you have to spend time with your boyfriend, right? Then probably your boyfriend's family have one there. So you also have to show because they're trying to integrate you into family small by small. So that they'll be liking you. Sisters, his aunts will start to see your face. They'll be liking you. So instead of you to be resting, like the stupid boys that want to spend 3-5 in Queen Locks on Friday, you are not resting. You are in no one bed. So you worked Monday to Friday. Then Saturday that your resting day, you are in no one bed again. All day, traffic, makeup, pancake, everything. Yeah. Then Sunday, church. They probably work in church, right? Then you are in church till 2. Then you not rest from maybe 3 o'clock. Oh no, rest. You have to do your nails. You now have to go back and do your nails, your everything. So you can brand up on Monday. Then you show up on Monday and you have to compete with Emeka who drank Friday night. On go back. On 3-5, he was drunk on 3-5, and then he slept all Saturday. And he probably like his shirt. The only time he cast out of his house like this, he went to watch Premiership. Then he back again. He slept. He now wants to complete with him. It's not easy on the female, and we have to acknowledge that fact. Honestly, women are, to be honest, women are real MVPs. And I'm not saying this to appease them, it's the reality. Women work harder. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. So you guys that you work with women have shaped them better. I'm serious. They are going through a lot more than you think. But they also have to appear in work on Monday and be like you. So imagine a female analyst on my team on a Monday that I have like 7-8 meetings. She's in hell already. Because me too, I'm not having a good day. Like, yes, now, I'm jumping from meetings to meetings and all of that. And then, the thing about meetings in the private sector is that you don't go to meetings to just talk. You go to meetings to have action items. So you go into a meeting and you go like, okay, what are the action items? Then like, next steps are 1, this, 2, do this. So if you are lucky, you have maybe 5 action items. And, of course, the analyst will bear it now. So, guys, make sure you get it. Then, wireframes, blah, blah, then 5. Then we're going to another meeting where we're going to get another 5 action items. I'm not joking, no. So imagine you do 8 in one day, and 8 times 5 is what? 40. He has 40 action items. Or more, he has not started. But his next one, he's supposed to do on that one, the next one of the action items, he's going to divide the next one. So he's not sleeping till like 2 a.m. And imagine a female colleague as well, he's not sleeping till 2 a.m. Do you get? And they pay you both equal salary. So it's not fair, right? They should pay women more. You guys think so? That they should pay women more. Yeah. No, this is not. Yeah. My company has that. Yeah. But basically speaking, this is not a Chimamanda class, right? I'm not even feminist. Well, I can't be. Right? But what I'm trying to say is that, I mean, my Monday was terrible. I had meetings all over. Tuesday, I was locked up with one of my GMs on a strategy session, on how to make up for a 100 million deficit. Now, because of what happened on Tuesday, I had to travel to Abuja on Thursday. But on Wednesday, I had to meet with Lagos State government. And when you're meeting with government, I mean, you can get there. They say meeting will start 12 o'clock, but when you get there, the director is not there, so the meeting can't start. So until the director gets there, you can't leave. So you are there, while in the wait time, do nothing. So you have to carry your internet. So all those deliverables that are piled up, you now start working on it right there and then. Do you get? Until their boss comes in. Then you now have that deliberation where they don't understand what you are saying, and you have to dumb it down. You have to make sure that they understand, or else your money can't come out. Do you understand? Then Thursday morning, 7 a.m. flight, I was on my way to Abuja. I got to Abuja like around 10 o'clock because my flight was delayed. It didn't take off until like 9. So I got to Abuja like 10. Then my driver came to pick me, and I had meetings till like 7. Now, I didn't sleep the previous night because preparing for the meetings in Abuja the next day, I had to do some things, right? So I didn't sleep. So I just broke down 6 o'clock. So I was sleeping for the first time in almost 48 hours, on Thursday evening. Then Friday, I had a meeting 7 a.m. in the morning in Abuja, and my flight was 1. So I had 2 meetings in Abuja. Then by 12 o'clock, I was heading to the airport. I landed in Lagos, although bad weather and all of that, my flight was delayed 3. The flight of 1 o'clock was delayed 3. I landed in Lagos around 4 o'clock, and I went straight to the office because I need to do a report, right? Then I did all of that on Friday, and then I have some deliverables for Monday. Now, leaving work, instead of me to go home and go and do what I was supposed to do, I went to Vlogs. Me and my G's, one of my friends, his birthday was on Thursday, so he couldn't celebrate because it was a work day. So we moved the celebration to Friday, right? Yeah. So Friday, we partied all night. I got home like around 3:30 a.m. this morning, right? And then I'm here. So I've still not done my job at work, right? Although I branched at the office very briefly this morning, but I've still not done my work, all right? So for me, I'm going back to the office actually. Then I'm going to work till really, really late. So imagine my life, and I'm a guy. I'm not married. I'm even single. I'm not even dating anyone. So imagine that. I'm searching. I didn't want to search for me. Are you for me? All right. So, and I don't have a lot of entanglement that would come with maybe say family and all of that. My parents don't live here. And both my parents are healthy. I seem to be very fortunate about that. So I have no reason to travel, impromptu go and see someone in the hospital or something like that. So I don't have a lot of, but then look at how my week went. Imagine the week of another person that doesn't have the same lifestyle as me. They have a child, their child fell sick, they still have to deliver at work. Do you understand? So the stress is a lot. I'm trying to let you see that it's not all roses. Like you just get a job and then you're just like you're not doing shalaku at work. It's not like that too. And sometimes if you are still reading like AG, you just like 5 weeks you don't touch Facebook. Like what happened? Like 5 weeks you don't touch Twitter. And it's not your fault. It's not like maybe it's not your fault. Like that's when you now be seeing that you check your WhatsApp message like this. You just come through. Money. So the ones that are going to add to your life, that the ones that you're answering. So if people be seeing you online, but you're not responding to their messages, it's not your fault. To be honest, it's not your fault. It's terrible. So you need to be prepared for that piece. Like literally prepared for that piece. Does that make sense, guys? But it's also exciting. Trust me. Like super exciting. Like I have fun doing it. I honestly have fun. Meeting with people, solving problems. I can tell you the number of people that I've worked on that you probably interact with today. And it was direct contribution from me and my team and my company. And there's a sense of fulfillment that comes with that. That okay, I did that. Of course, you'll not be in the news. Nobody will go and put Yemi Joshua and something. But like, there's a way you have to your confidence personally that, okay, I achieved that and made life better. All right. So there's a lot of upsides. I mean, the pay is good. I mean, you most likely meet with a lot of like HNIs are high net worth individuals. So you don't want to know the kind of people I have on my contact list. You don't want to know. Trust me. Like, you know, those people that you only see them in escorts, like with escorts, like signing, all right. They are human beings like you and I. You'll be shocked at when they're telling you about. I mean, some of them will tell you about their girlfriends. Like, yeah, I have this girlfriend in Dubai, this and that. Then you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't ask you this question. But yeah, I can't mention names. But the honest truth is, you'll be shocked at the people, like, the exposure is great. These are the people that you're going to be forming a relationship with in your career. Do you understand? So there are a lot of upsides to it as well. So not all downsides. So don't look all gloomy and stuff, right? There's a lot of upsides to it. And you have to like maintain, you know, that piece of professionalism, even though they're trying to get personal with you. All right. We'll continue the class after a break. Okay.
Yes, is that what we're looking at?
Thanks, bro. Bro, offer.
Let me just turn this off from there. Okay, like this.
Bro, offer. Okay. Ah, shit. Too tight.